This is what just happened in the economy over the last 24 hours. And trust me, you'll want to hear this. The U.S. job market is flashing warning signs. Britain's construction industry is hitting the brakes. A new nomination to the U.S. Federal Reserve is raising eyebrows. And Goldman Sachs says gold could rocket to $5,000 an ounce. These aren't just headlines. They connect directly to your wallet, your job, and your future. So let's break it all down. The U.S. job market, often called the backbone of the global economy, is showing cracks. In August, job openings fell to a 10-month low, hiring slowed, and job cuts hit their highest August level in over a decade. That isn't just a statistic, that's a warning. Companies are slowing down because borrowing is costly. High interest rates make it harder to expand, harder to hire, harder to invest, and everyday people feel it. Jobs are harder to find. Wages risk flattening. Debt, from mortgages to credit cards, feels heavier. The Fed wanted the labor market to cool so inflation could ease. And it worked, but the trade-off is painful. Families are squeezed. Small businesses are trimming hours instead of growing. And uncertainty is spreading, now across the Atlantic. In the UK, construction has slipped into its longest slump since 2020. 8 months in a row of contraction. A building freeze across the country. Why? Because higher interest rates make projects more expensive. Developers are nervous, investors are cautious, and households are cutting back. The impact spreads quickly. Fewer homes are breaking ground. Commercial towers are delayed. Suppliers see weaker demand. And thousands of jobs in construction and materials are at risk. This slowdown lands at the worst time. The government is preparing its autumn budget. And instead of growth, it faces stalled projects and frustrated workers. For families, housing supply tightens. For businesses, contracts dry up. And for the economy, growth is slipping when it's needed most. Meanwhile, in Washington, a new candidate has been nominated to the Federal Reserve, and the reaction has been sharp. Supporters say the nominee's financial background brings expertise. Critics argue political ties could threaten the Fed's independence, and that independence is everything, because the Fed sets interest rates, and rates decide the cost of mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and business financing. If the Fed looks politically pressured, global confidence in the dollar weakens. And when the dollar stumbles, the ripple spreads worldwide. It's not just a U.S. issue, it's a global concern. And that's why Goldman Sachs dropped its bombshell. Their analysts said gold could surge to $5,000 an ounce. A bold forecast, but not without reason. The logic is simple. If investors sense the Fed is under pressure, they run to safety. And gold has always been the safe haven of choice. Gold shines brightest when uncertainty is high, when inflation bites, when currencies wobble, when politics add risk. That's when investors pile in. If this forecast plays out, the message is clear. Markets are nervous, confidence in central banks is weaker, and people are preparing for turbulence. For households, that means markets could swing. Imported goods could cost more, and savings could come under pressure. It's not about panic, it's about balance and preparation. So what ties all of this together? A world in transition, jobs slowing, housing stalling, central banks under scrutiny, and investors turning to gold for safety. These stories aren't isolated, they're connected, and together they'll shape the months ahead. Follow and subscribe, because in the next videos we'll dive deeper into each of these stories one by one. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not financial, legal, or investment advice. Always do your own research or consult a licensed professional before making financial decisions. And one more important note, this video uses artificial intelligence only for visuals and narration. All research, writing, and fact-checking are done by a human team. We use AI responsibly, to illustrate and narrate, but never to create facts. Every figure here has been verified against reputable sources, including Reuters, The Guardian, Financial Times, and the Federal Reserve. Transparency matters, and you deserve to know how this content is made. Thank you for watching.